Hello everyone, welcome to Wheels on the Bike. This is my 2021 Kona Sutra touring, bikepacking bike. In 2024, I took the bike in its original touring configuration to Poland, where I spent a lot of the time on off-road trails. And while the bike did okay, it wasn't optimal. It certainly wasn't a comfortable riding experience. So this year, I decided to make some modifications. One of the biggest and most impactful changes I made on the bike is to get a new set of rims and tires. So these rims are Velocity Cliffhanger 27.5-inch rims, and they have 36 spokes. I had two different types of wheels on the Sutra due to being hit by a driver while crossing Canada. Also, the wheels on the original Sutra were 700s, so they were a bit bigger, making the bike standover height a little bit taller, and that was always too high for me. So now with about an inch drop in that standover height, the bike fits a lot better. I also got new tires, and these are Rene Urs Juniper Ridge 650 by 48, and I have them set up tubeless. This is the very first time I'm running tubeless on a bike. I'm running tubeless not because I had issues with punctures. In fact, I had no punctures on my Schwalbe Marathon tires. I am running tubeless because of comfort. I found that lower pressures are a little bit more beneficial to improving comfort, especially while riding off-road. In changing the wheels and tires, I also went ahead and switched brake pads and brake rotors. In hindsight, if I gave myself a little bit of time to do this modification, I would have gotten bigger rotors, but I would have also had ordered additional parts, and again, didn't give myself enough time, so that didn't happen. I kept the original Tektro Spire mechanical disc brakes. They've been performing very well, and I've had no issues with them, so I saw no reason to replace them. I kept the original fenders on the bike, which limited a little bit how wide of a tire I could put on the bike, but fenders are important to me. I don't like getting unnecessarily dirty with muck and dirt, so fenders had to stay. I didn't make any changes to the drivetrain components. I did keep the 3x system. The gearing ratio is phenomenal. At the back, I have the 11 to 36 tooth cassette. On the front, I have the 22, 36 and 48 tooth chain rings. The 22 is a modification that I made back when I was riding across Canada from the original 26, and this allows me to climb a little bit more efficiently. I kept the original saddle. This is the Brooks B17 saddle. After 12,000 kilometers, this saddle is cush for the tush. If you know, you know. I do have a suspension seat post on the bike. I added it last year. This is a seat post I used on my commuter bicycle, and it just takes away that edge when you go over bumps and rocks, etc. This is the Cane Creek EE Silk, and yeah, I'm happy with it. By far the biggest change I made on the bike, in addition to the wheels, oh my gosh, midges, come on. Aside from the wheels, the next biggest change I made on the bike was the handlebars. These are Ali Denim Alt handlebars, and I used to have drop bars on it. The reason I chose these particular ones is because of the location of the horns. I was really comfortable when riding in the hoods on the drop bar of the original Kona handlebars, and basically the hoods and the horns are perfectly aligned, which makes it super comfortable for me to ride in the horns and to handle the bike well in this position. The handlebar allows for multiple hand positions. I mean, obviously I can ride in the regular handlebar position. Because I added ergon grips on the ends, I can also grip my handlebars like so. Of course, I can ride in the horns. Very happy with the handlebars. I was a little bit worried about the width of the handlebars, but in having been riding around, the handling is fantastic. I don't find them too wide for me. Additionally, because they are swept back, they do put me in a little bit more of an upright position, and I do enjoy riding in that kind of position. I don't care about being aero. This also minimizes the reach to the handlebars. I also needed to change brake levers and shifters. I used to have bar end shifters and I loved them, and so I went ahead with microshift friction shifters for this bike as well. Absolutely love the setup. If anything in the future, I think I would like to change the rear shifter to have a ratchet. This one doesn't. The front one does, but the rear one doesn't. Also, new brake levers. I know I have them set up the wrong way, but I actually really like the feel of that wrong setup. I will leave all the parts and all the components that I've changed in the description below. So let's all have a great touring season and see you on the road.